Hi, everybody. Welcome to K11 Konversations, a multi-platform dialogue series where we discuss the intersection between creativity, culture, and innovation, in line with K11's social mission to incubate talent, propagate culture, and push the new frontier of art. So in this session, we have invited Rhaime Kim from Rice Robotics and James Leung from Geek Plus here today to discuss about the future of robotics.
Hi, this is James from Geek Plus, and I'm responsible for the key account development in our overseas market.
Hello, nice to meet you all. Thanks so much for having us. My name is Rhaime Kim. I'm the head of operations at Rice Robotics, where we create autonomous service robots.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for coming today and participating in our talk. So I think in order for us to learn a little bit more about you as well as the company, why don't we just do a brief introduction about Rice and Geek Plus. So how about Rhaime, you can kick us off to help us learn a little bit more about Rice Robotics.
At Rice Robotics, we're building the friendliest robots at your service, and our goal is to become the #1 autonomous workforce provider. Our 3 robots reduce the operational burden for commercial properties by automating different service tasks. Our Rice robot is a delivery robot. Our Jasmine robot disinfects, and our Portal robot provides customer service and security. Last but not least, our fleet management platform, RiceCore, is a website where you can see the live information about the robot, whether it's video footage or data collected by the robot or its location. Rice is deployed in over 250 prime locations in Hong Kong and Japan. Our main customers right now are different property developers and facility management companies, and the end deployment locations are offices and malls primarily, as well as hotels and residences. Before we go ahead, I just want to highlight one of our customers, our partners, New World Development. We're very happy for all the support that we've gotten from New World in the past and as well as now. What really got our brand recognition, especially in Hong Kong, is this video that you're seeing here. After K11 MUSEA experienced a small COVID cluster, they hired our robots to keep people safe at their mall. And this is just a video of our robots disinfecting and kind of waltzing about at the malls. New World is not only our client, but they are also our distributor, and they have introduced us to amazing customers. New World's also an investor of ours.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. How about we now learn a little bit more about Geek Plus? So James, how about you introduce a little bit?
To talk about Geek Plus, I think it will be easier for me to play a video about Geek Plus. So this is about a case that we have developed for one of the convenience chain store in Hong Kong. It's Circle K. So every day, Circle K serves like more than 7 million population in Hong Kong. And usually when we're looking at the figures, we are helping them to distribute about like 1 million pieces of inventory every day. So from this video you could see some of the solution that we're providing to the customers. We have our robots to move the product from inbound area all the way to the inventory area, and then from the inventory area to the workstations, so that the operators could be doing the picking, doing the order fulfillment. And all about is we're trying to help to remove as much manual work as possible, so that the operator would be focused on doing like different manual tasks which require higher intelligence, like to do the sorting, to do the picking at their workstations. And at the same time, we're removing all the working parts for most of the warehouse worker in this warehouse. And we do have like 7 different types of robot in our current offering range. So all about is removing product inside the warehouse or a factory, all the way from like a full bulky pallet to medium cartons to tote box, and even down to piece handling. So this is the full coverage that of AMR solutions that we are bringing to logistics or manufacturing users. So maybe we could look at some of the numbers that we have achieved so far. So currently we have more than 1,500 employees globally. We do have our network of smart warehouses in China. And we are operating like 2 robots, making robots a smart factory. So pretty much we're using robotic arm to help us to build our robots. So yeah, this is some sort of gimmick that we've got, we've been telling in the market. So in terms of patent, we have more than 800 patents, and we're creating different applications, different usages for different scenarios for our customers. We are the #1 market share global ML leader, and in a very recent round, which happens almost 2 years ago, we raised one of the biggest round of funding in our industry in history. And then with more than 500 global customers, and in last year itself, we have received more than 300 million of US dollars orders. So all about is we are creating real value. We're contributing to our customers. We're providing AI and robotics solution to walk together the automation journey together with our customers. So when we're looking at the ROI, it's like within 1 to 3 years, we're helping them to improve their throughput, their efficiency, and more importantly, is we could rapidly deploy a lot of projects together with customers. So we do have like a global network of in the world. So we have been very China/APAC centric, but in almost 2 years ago, we have started building our network in Germany, in UK, and also in the US. So pretty much this is the high-level summary introduction of Geek+, and I look forward to share more in the next session.
So now that we've learned a little bit more about Geek+ as well as Rice Robotics, obviously you guys have not just one robot, but many different types of robots. So I wanted to actually understand as to how you guys came up with your current product line. So how about James start us off first? Can you help us understand a little bit more about the Geek+ product line?
Yeah. I think like a lot of startups or a lot of companies, we first start off with our one core product of ours, which is the rack-to-person solution, like the one that I've shown in the Circle K showcase. So I think pretty much what we have been doing in the past couple of years is we work very closely with our customers. We pretty much follow the market and also answer the needs of our customers. So we learn their pain points, we learn their needs, and we could develop different solutions together with them. And that's how we come up with all 7 series of different robotic solutions at this stage.
Awesome. How about on the right side? How did you guys come up with your product line?
Yeah, sure. For us, you might recognize a wiser company, called Rice Robotics. That's because our first robot was a delivery robot. The idea came about when the founder, Victor, he was visiting the San Francisco, like Silicon Valley, Bay Area, and saw delivery robots on college campuses as well as in hotels, and thought, hey, why can't I find this in Hong Kong, in Greater Asia? So we started off with the Rice robot, which we ended up modifying the insides a little bit into the Jasmine disinfection robot when COVID happened, and we wanted to do something about the pandemic. And then our third robot, the customer service and security robot Portal, kind of like what James was saying, that robot was a result of speaking with our customers, which were property developers and their facility management companies. And we kind of aggregated all the different requests we keep getting for what they wanted in a robot and decided to put that in our third product.
Awesome. Yeah, it really sounds like you guys had to actually, adopt your first product to see whatever the market needs. So it's really interesting to hear a little bit more about the growth. So for both of your companies, obviously you guys are at different stages in terms of growth. So everyone has different definitions of what success means. So maybe for Rice, can we understand essentially what is your current definition of success?
Yeah, for sure. I think, so far right now in Hong Kong, we have about 20% market share of malls, around 10% market share of grade A office spaces. So we hope to replicate that success in Japan, where we're growing our team. So that's our medium term goal. I think longer term, our vision is to have service robots everywhere in everyday spaces. You go to a mall, you go to a shop, and you just see robots, and this is normal. Yeah, having that type of world is something that we're working towards in the longer term.
How about on the Geek Plus side? I guess for a company that is already so large, what is your definition of success?
Yeah, I think well we just couple years older than Rise, and well I think in the past, well, in the additional years that we a little bit ahead with, we have invested a lot of time with our customers globally, and we build a lot of prototypes or proof of concept projects with them, and it's proven that how our solutions are going to work together with their current operation. So I think the next stage for us is all about like replication. We taking like a successful case in Australia. We copying that in Singapore, in Hong Kong, and also say in the UK and US. So pretty much that will be our next stage of success that we're looking forward to.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think you mentioned a very interesting part there about the need for collaboration and then the need to actually be able to partner with your customers to deliver something of value. So, as you guys are expanding internationally, with the case studies that you guys mentioned, obviously you guys need to be effectively be able to cooperate with the larger corporations in order for you to scale your success. So, how do you view collaborations with corporates? And then are there any teachings that you could give to the audience today?
Maybe I could go first. So I think collaborations with corporates are a must to any startup if they are looking to grow quickly with actual needs, actual pain points, actual problems that they really need to resolve in the real world. And I think well, when we have been very lucky that we had the chance to work with a lot of good corporates, and who has patience and trust in us. So that I think that's some prerequisites to of a corporate that a startup should be working together with. So that well, we were allowed the room, also the time that we could spend time together to co-develop and test and approve the concept before we really launch some real product in the world.
Makes sense. Makes sense. How about on the right side?
Yeah. Well, New World, as mentioned just a moment ago, is our distributor, our investor, and of course a client. And I think in working with New World as well as other larger companies, we actually get quite a few requests for robot customizations and things like this, because there's such a few number of autonomous robotics companies. So you get all of these requests. So it's for us to assess what to actually go forward with and build. So it's kind of this balance between when large companies ask for their own customized product. Just trying to balance that business with non-standard products. So in line with that, we actually have one of our newest robots will be launched at K11 soon as the first pioneering rotation. So that will be happening in Q2. So please keep out for that.
Yeah, we're very excited to hear about this new robot. So as we're going to launch more, we will definitely tell the audience more about that. So to that point, in terms of working with us, you guys have both decided to actually join our Eureka Nova programs. So Rice, for those of you who don't know, we're part of the Impact Commons program, and then Geek Plus is currently part of our GBA Accelerator program. So on our side, we're obviously very thankful. So I guess to turn back a little bit in time, what made you want to actually join these programs, and how do you think it would have helped? Maybe James can go first.
Yes, sir. I think the exposure that we are gaining from participating in this program has been excellent to us. So the exposure not only of Geek's product, but a lot of exposure to our colleagues. Most of our colleagues are very young and energetic as well. Yet all about is we want to gain more experience and more exposure as a young adult. And I think all about is we're glad to have such support from New World Group that we could have such an opportunity to gain more, to know more about this world, to promote more about ourselves to a wider audience, not only in Hong Kong, but GBA, but China, but the region. So this has been fabulous to us so far.
Awesome. Yeah, I think for us, because Jasmine, we ended up turning the delivery robot, modifying a bit to create Jasmine, and that was in response to the COVID pandemic. So since one of our robots is in particular related to the social good, New World reached out and encouraged us to consider applying to Impact Commons, and especially during that time, we didn't have that many, we didn't have a big portfolio of clients. So it was incredible to join. And then after some time, we didn't realize that we would end up having quite a deep partnership with New World. So for us, yeah, we're very happy to how that relationship started and what it's progressed to now.
Yeah, we're very thankful that you guys are part of the Eureka Nova extended family. So I think to kind of learn more about the production cycle for robotics, when you're developing a new product line. So for example, the one that Ryan mentioned, what is the biggest challenge in creating a functional robot that's actually ready for commercial use? Can you help us illuminate that process for us?
Yeah, I think I guess like most startups experience this, but it's just the idea of needing to build something relatively fast and test it out. But you really have to pare down like the requirements and figure out what's possible. And I think that's a unique challenge. I guess being in the hardware business, it's not like software where you can create something in a relatively short amount of time. You have a physical product as well that you need to prototype and ship out and everything. So I would say that when we're developing a new product, we often just try to get some graphics going, and then we try to kind of test the idea out, especially in the creation of our third robot portal. We would create these nice looking graphics of our vision, and then we would see on the sales front, we would see if there's actual customer interest and then build. So I would say, yeah, being the hardware business, it's definitely something we're aware of. And we try to, when we work on different projects with custom features, we might try to just break it down into different phases of development. So you can just start off with something basic and then have different milestones across a period of time. So we can still get the unit out there, but have different phases of development.
How about the Geek Plus side? I think we want to hear a little bit more about how you guys, what's the biggest challenge in creating a functional robot for commercial use as well?
Yeah. Okay, I think I will tackle this question like from 3 different angles. First is about the hardware, the robot itself. So we had chance to work with say a UK supermarket. They had like very strong preference in terms of health and safety. So we did a lot of drawings of the robot. Okay, what if the robot is carrying the rack, and what if the product is sitting like at 2 meters high of height? How the operator is going to bring the product from 2 meters to ground level. So through that our discussion, we use a lot of like visual aid, like 3D drawings, like 2D drawings. So pretty much to make sure that hardware, either the workstation or the robot that we're designing for them, is to their expectations. Secondly, is about the simulation. So for some of the robotic solution that we are providing, we're talking about handling of or managing of up to 200-300 or up to even 1,000 robots in one scenario. So all about is we need to make sure that our systems is capable to handle the throughput. And how we prove that is we run either simulation or emulation if we got sufficient time. So pretty much we running simulations to make sure that the number of robots, the time motion study that we arrived together with the customers in line, and we making sure that the solution itself would be is designed to success. And lastly, is about the user interface for some of our operators. So we have like UX UI sessions. We design some of it for some of our key customers. We even designed the the applications for them, which can be downloaded on Google Play. So we were creating like the app for the operators to download so that they could carry out the picking, the fulfillment tasks that they're having. And when we were designing that app, we even have like a flow by flow UX UI design discussion with them. A very lengthy process, but the outcome has been very well received, even by the operators. So I think yeah, these are some of the elements that we need to consider when we are designing a robotic solution for our customers.
So I think both of you guys said something pretty interesting in terms of, as a hardware product and how it, is different than a software product, because hardware, once you built it, you built it. So I think I myself am more interested, but in the software world, you think about user experience in terms of the graphics and like the buttons and all stuff. So, but from a hardware perspective, how do you think about user experience? Because it's a very different concept than say software. So, James, can you tell us a little bit more about, from the hardware side, what do you think about when you think about creating a quality user experience for the user?
I think in the past 2-3 years, we handle quite a lot of overseas projects, especially those around in the UK or in the EU. Safety is the top priority, and I think the very very basic user experience is they don't get hit by a robot, or it's safe to work collaboratively in the same environment with a robot. So to me, I think the safety concern, whether of course there are many different standards, but say for example, in order for us to meet the CE standard, that is something that I would say would be the must when we are delivering a quality hardware robotic solution to our customers.
About on the right side, what do you guys think about when you think about user experience from a hardware angle?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the end product is a physical robot, right? But I think it's just a holistic experience. I think when we think about it, so we have to be aware that the actual operators of the robots have a varied level of ages, backgrounds. So we have to think about not just the operator of the robots, but people who maybe are security guards and housekeeping staff who turn the robot on and off, make sure that it's running smoothly, fill in the disinfection fluid of the robot. And then there's the end customer. So for the portal customer service and security robot, the end customer would be not the mall staff, but then it would be the mall customers. The everyday people who want to get a coupon after answering a survey on the robot's touchscreen. These are users who want to call the help desk by pressing a button on the portal's touchscreen. So we have to be aware of these two different groups of users where the age range is varied, the technical understanding is also varied, and we have to just ensure that a lot of the as these customers, sometimes like the end users, like whether it's staff or end customers, they're going to be different a lot of the times because there's a lot of different shifts, there's a lot of turnover, there's a lot of third-party hiring for staff, and then obviously the end customer, there's the number of mall customers is really varied. So we have to ensure that a lot of our like the touchscreen apps, like the apps of our robots are intuitive to use and that you can kind of look at it and assume what needs to be done next instead of having to always go through some training or a user manual. So that's something that those are the two like big groups of customers that we have to think about in designing the whole robot experience.
Yeah. That's just super interesting to me, thinking about the different types of clients that might be using it as well as the safety portion. So thank you for illuminating that for us. And I think, we've, come to a very last question, but I think now looking with the more longer lens, what type of emerging technology do you think is really exciting and would really be game changers for robotics? How about we, start with Rhyme first?
Yeah, sure. Um, I think like I first like to say it's a bit surprising, but actually indoor navigation in everyday spaces, that's not a problem that's solved yet, because you would think, oh, if there's Tesla cars that can operate outdoors safely, then how is it that an indoor setting is not actually a solved problem? Well, there's no lanes in a mall, in an office. There's children of all heights. It's hard to predict the movement of people and young children. So I think there's a lot of R&D that we do. We try to keep up to date with the most recent material, the research, the papers out there when it comes to the ways to approach navigation indoors. So I think once that problem's solved, like it'll like lead to a huge advance in autonomous navigation. Obviously, we have robots that are safely operating, as do other companies, but it's a problem that's not yet super perfected. And I think other things that would make service robots like especially useful is the advent of like computer vision. So not just being because you can look at an image and see if somebody is running, for example, but to look at a video, to look at a sequence of images and determine if somebody is running, that's a different type of question. So I think with the advance of different computer vision technologies, that will make service robots the more useful. The last piece is really NLP. If you've used Siri before, like on your iPhone, different chatbots, sometimes it's gotten a lot better, but a lot of times like robots cannot answer or understand like what you really need. So once service robots are really able to be loaded up with like great NLP, with great chatbots, I think that'll also lead to another big leap for the service robotics industry.
I think that what recently, like a 5G or cloud hosting robot management system, like, well, we know that is the next step. And I think, well, every robotic companies are, looking into that. And I think, well, one more item that I would like to bring up is about the orchestration platform. So what we are foreseeing, next will be maybe well, in another angle is how like different robots could work collaboratively. So, what we are thinking is a platform which could like manage different types of robots of different functions. Say, for example, Geek Plus is we're working on some micro fulfillment, or some may call it dark store fulfillment operation. So we're helping the store to do the picking, the order fulfillment. But how about the last mile? Maybe there will be an interface between like Geek Plus and Rise, so that we hand over the picked product, slot it into a delivery robot of Rise, and then Rise will carry out the last mile delivery. So what we're seeing is maybe the platform which could orchestrate like different functional robots together to serve one main goal, one purpose. Is one of the end game that we are seeing at this moment. So yeah, would you think that could possible?
I think we can definitely explore a little bit more about that. But yeah, I think that would be quite something to see robots handling things one after another and being able to orchestrate in a like a happy orchestra, if you will. So I think that pretty much actually sums up our conversation today. But thank you so much for both of you for taking the time to discuss with us about the future of robotics. So stay tuned to our next episode of K11 Konversations with Eureka Nova. Remember to follow our K11 social media platform for all upcoming conversations. And thank you everybody for listening, and thank you for the speakers for coming in today.